This is welcoming you to the program we call State of the Nation, where we talk about Nigeria, its growth, its development, its politics, its policies, and we don't just do that as a monologue. We bring in people who have what to say, people who know the issues and know how to break them down. We sit them in a chair and they help us make sense of the issues. My name is Maduka Ojimadu. And in welcoming you, let me also welcome my guest this morning. He's an erudite scholar, a well-outspoken public affairs commentator, a politician with a conscience, and he is a chieftain of the Nigeria Democratic Congress, NDC, but he will always say he is a Nigerian first, a Nigerian who wants the best for Nigeria before and above every political affiliation. Let's welcome Dickson Nnamdi Iroegbu. Okay, his middle name is Dickson. I usually like the Dickson part very well. Some of the greatest men I know are named Dickson. Dickson Nnamdi, great to have you in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
And let me say he's my own brother. So, Dickson, good morning.
Good morning.
Once again.
Good morning.
Great to have you. We're talking about Nigeria, and I remember in the lead up to this conversation, you said, yes, whereas you're an NDC member, you're not just here to talk about the NDC, how great a party it is. You agree it is, but then your concern is about Nigeria.
Yeah.
And it is the state of the nation we're talking about, where Nigeria is today. And you could say Nigeria is at that point where something has to happen, something has to give. We're approaching the 2027 general elections. We are supposed to elect a new president, elect new members of the state assemblies, elect new members of the National Assembly, and we're going to be electing, if I'm not wrong, about 31 governors. Looking at Nigeria's political development at the moment, would you say, as a political scholar, that Nigeria is in a good place today politically, or probably there's a lot to be desired?
We're in a state of quagmire at the moment because this is not what we anticipated to have for our country. We have not grown politically, and I say that with the understanding that tolerance ought to be available within the political arena, but we don't seem to have that. The do or die syndrome seems to be overshadowing everywhere. People are desperate to occupy offices, and simply because the move to occupy these offices may not necessarily be about the people, but about self, about going in there to grab whatever they can, and the people are left to wallow in poverty, in insecurity, and everything negative. So at the moment, our country politically is faced with that moment of citizens having kind of self-reflection, because I think the Nigerian citizens have been too docile, for too long, and it is time that we decided whatever it was that we want to have for our country, Nigeria. So I think Nigerians should take this wonderful opportunity now and go through the ballot revolution. My friend Showore would say revolution now, but I would rather say that we now have it in our hands to use the ballot to activate that revolution, sack those who have not performed, and teach lessons to those who may want to come that, watch it. If you don't perform, you also be sacked. No group or no individual should be seen to be greater than the country. And that seems to be the case now, where people carry themselves as though they are bigger than the state, the Nigerian state. And that is an aberration. I personally, as a citizen of Nigeria, very proud one, I would not be part of anything that will jeopardize the interests of the Nigerian people. And that is why my involvement in the NDC, comes to play here, because I joined the NDC with the understanding that that service, which is missing within the political arena, is the slogan of the party. And the party also has opened its doors to accommodate two very great Nigerian politicians, in my view, Mr. Peter Obi and Alhaji Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. Two of them have shown clearly that there is something different about their approach to politics that excites me, which is one, human capital development. You know, every time politicians, governors, or the FCT ministers we have here, you see them, they are building bridges, they are building roads, but forgetting that the educational angle is also part of, what they should do. And these two people have shown that human capital development is paramount to their politicking. To be, you will see him in different places, empowering institutions of learning and all of that. Kwankwaso, the same thing. So, and then the NDC opening up its doors to receive them as their candidate and presidential candidate and vice presidential candidate. I thought it was a wonderful thing and a good opportunity for the Nigerian people to now say, okay, I think we have a chance here to reclaim our country, because we seem to have bandits in power. The same way bandits are ravaging different parts of our country, we seem to have them in the political arena, where they have captured power and now treat us as though we are a conquered people. We shouldn't take that.
Right.
Nigeria belongs to all of us, and to fix Nigeria, all of us must get on board. And that is why, personally, I am sold out to anything that will make this country become great. And I thank you for this opportunity.
All right. So there are two maxims that are used in politics. One is that people deserve the leadership they get. The second one is that the quality of leadership in a place represents the total good and bad of that place.
Because the leaders come from amongst the people.
Do you agree that these two maxims in pari passu apply to Nigeria?
It does.
So the people we have now are the people we deserve, and they also represent the rest of us.
Not that we deserve, but they came from amongst us. And that's why I said our docility is what has brought us here. Nigerians are too docile. We tolerate all sorts of nonsense from those who ought to be our servants. For instance, you look at the president of our country and he talks to us as though he's talking to his stooges. Meanwhile, he ought to be the servant-in-chief of the country. You go to commensurate with those who were attacked by bandits and terrorists, and you get there, you couldn't even have the humility to get to their level, go to them. They had to come to you to the airport, and at the airport you spoke to them as though you're doing them a favor, even threatened that, there's no light, so you have few minutes to go here and all of that, as if that's not his duty. So, and then again, you now see why we also see these people do these things, and a group of people seem to be campaigning still for these people. They present bags of rice to you. They present bread. That's the latest I've seen in Osun recently, where they are giving them aggregate bread. That is the level they have, reduced the Nigerian people to, because they have weaponized hunger. And so we fall for a cup of gari, a cup of rice, anything, forgetting that is actually empowering them to continue to subdue us, to subjugate us. So I think sincerely that we don't deserve this crop of leaders that we have. However, we must admit that they came from amongst us. And that if opportunity as we have now in 2027 is availed us, it behoves on us as citizens of our country to change this crop of leaders so that those who will take over, just like we did in 2015, even though we're not sure now, people are regretting that action of sacking Jonathan in 2015, because in my view, if Jonathan was not sacked in 2015, probably our nationhood would have been well established, better than we are now. Because honestly, Jonathan would have implemented the People's Constitution via that 2014 National Confab document, because what we have now empowers the president to do anything. The president of Nigeria constitutionally is the most powerful president in the world, where by the constitution, as we witnessed in Rivers, the president did suspend an elected governor, elected House of Assembly members for 6 months. People voted these persons, and the president single-handedly suspended activities of these people that are sent to represent their people and all of that. And you go to the courts, and the Supreme Court upheld it. So this constitution is one of the things that, if Jonathan had come back, we wouldn't have continued with the 1999 constitution. So I think sincerely we have a chance here. We have a chance here. And honestly, if we can all get together, especially the young people, because it's their destinies that are being tossed around here. The crop of people in power today, the president, the governors, and all of them, they enjoyed the best of Nigeria when every one of them went to public schools, right?
And
where you will sit down,
and for free.
Yeah, for free. A poor man's child will sit down with a minister's child in the same class and all of that. But today, the demarcation is so obvious that the poor, is reduced to the level where public school is now seen as, for the nobodies. And so these people have they have no shame. Those in power now, they don't have shame, because if they had shame, they would have at least improved or even given back to the society what it got from it. But unfortunately, we don't have that. And that is why I charge the young people to get up and take their country back. The docility of the young people, all these distractions on social media and all of that, I think they are probably toiling with their own destinies. And I have children. I tell my kids, my last child is 19 years old. And I have 3 of them there in the universities. And I tell them, they know where their daddy stand. I tell them, listen, this country belongs to you. To fix it, you have to contribute your quota. You see these distractions on social media? Yeah, go on with it, but please be conscious of the fact that you owe yourself a duty to save and serve your country. And that is what I probably am saying to any young person who is listening to me now. Please, don't take it for granted. 2027 is a chance for all of us. Take your country back. If you're waiting for Tinubu and his likes to fix Nigeria, there's no such plan. There is no such plan. Because if there was, 3 years after, where are we? You came in on the first day that you came to power without even getting to the seat of power to have a helicopter view of what it is that you're coming to face. There and then during your inauguration, you declare subsidy is gone. And from that moment till now, hardship got inflicted on all of us. And there's no cushioning effect. There's no plan in place. And every day the president tells us, oh, tighten your belt a bit. The economy is booming and all of it. It's booming in his pocket. It's booming within his family. They're living large while we're all, living in abject poverty. So there's a need for us to punish these people by sacking all of them, particularly APC. APC has failed Nigeria. Since it came to power in 2015, the party known as All Progressives Congress has held the country down. And please do your research. Every day since 2015, not less than 100 Nigerians are slaughtered every day since APC came to power. Do a research on that. And we are comfortable. We are no more bothered about the number of people that are killed in our country.
No, but I'm not to interrupt you. You talk about the opportunity that 2027 represents.
Yes.
Are you therefore pronouncing your confidence in the electoral process? You believe so much that it's going to be a free, fair, and transparent election, and Nigerians truly have a realistic chance of voting in who they want and voting out who they don't want in 2027?
Not from this INEC. However, rigging only happens when there is voter apathy. So it's not that, we're expecting that INEC is going to be fair. Thus far, we have seen what INEC has given us. It doesn't look in the direction.
What do you think is not fair?
No, for instance,
how has the INEC failed to meet your
the draconian schedule, insisting that this must be this or nothing.
Is the law?
Which
the
law?
Electoral Acts.
Is man made for the law? The law is made for man. You can amend it. You can adjust it. We have how many months? Election is in January. And you had to, well, of course, look at what the 10th Assembly did. They rushed to pass the 2026 Electoral Act, amended, and then gave us two options. Direct primaries or direct primaries or consensus. They removed indirect primaries, and then the environment became, very hostile, very chaotic, really. Even the government in power, the party, the ruling party, could not conduct a process that is claimed that will be called direct primaries and all of that. And then INEC adjusted his schedule quickly and then adopted that and couldn't even consider the possibility of, finding a way to fine-tune some of the shortcomings in that law. If it was about the people, INEC would have approached it differently. But by the way, we are here now. INEC is the umpire. We would face them. But what is important to every Nigerian now is eternal vigilance. We must follow through. If they are going to announce the election by 2 a.m., we should all be vigilant and be available to watch, because it's our lives after all. We can't travel by road. You can't budget by your salary and all of that. So we owe ourselves a duty to save ourselves. So the fairness we're looking for will be given by us, not by INEC, because the leadership, this very chairman of INEC, is very clear that he's working for this and more like a servant to the ruling government.
All right.
As far as we're concerned. But the Nigerian people can wake up and say, yes, you may do your shenanigans if we're sleeping, but if we're awake, we won't allow it. And that is what we should do. We should be awake until the result from the polling unit to the ward, to the local government, to the state level, and then when it's going to be brought to the national, everybody should follow it. That should be our revolution. We owe it to our country. We owe this duty. We owe Nigeria that duty. You understand me? It's when we go nonchalant about the electoral process, it shows more like you don't even have a plan for yourself. Like when I ask any young person, do you have PVC? And you say you don't have. No matter how beautiful or how handsome or how intelligent or how educated you are, you lose me. It shows you don't have a plan. You don't have interest in your country. So those who have it, wake up and ensure that we don't allow this crop of mindless leaders to occupy the seat of power again.
All right, hold your thoughts there. You've been quite critical of the APC, the past,
the ruling party, as far as I'm concerned. It's not the ruling party, the union party.
The past and current leaderships. But I'm going to ask you, what do you think they would have done differently? But that will be after this particular timeout. Stay with us. It's still the conversation with Mazi Nnamdi Dickson Iroegbu. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us. Okay, thank you for staying with us. It's still the program we call State of the Nation on the People's 105.5 FM Abuja. You can also watch us on television, on Universal Television, UTV Africa. My name is Maddox and I'm here with Mazi Nnamdi Dickson Iroegbu. He's a political leader of thought here in Nigeria, who is not just here as a member of a political party, but as a Nigerian who wants the best for the country. Now, before we went on that break, you were criticizing the policies, or maybe a lack of direction in the policies of the current administration, especially the reforms that the government has been carrying on. You seem to be pessimistic about it. But one question that...
No, but the reality is not pessimistic. It's the reality on ground.
Yeah, but the one...
It doesn't work for 3 years.
One question that the leaders of the administration and their supporters are always asking, one thing they've always been saying is, so what would any of the other candidates, an Atiku or a Peter Obi or a Kwankwaso, what would they have done differently? All these guys also said they would remove the subsidy. And then they've also said the FX regime we had was one that didn't make sense. What would these people have done differently? And so I'm asking you, are you not being overcritical of the government? Because probably that what they did is just about the only thing left to be done.
That's not true. In every country in the world, there are things the government subsidizes for the citizens. What is the purpose of government? Security and welfare of the people. That is the main reason why we have government. So if government now comes on and you say, oh, you have to punish your people, take away their welfare, basic things that would make the economy, good for the people, and you say, no, that is the only way out of it. And there is no cushioning effect. It shows you have no plan. Jonathan was going to remove subsidy in 2012.
He actually did.
No, he didn't. He was going to remove it in 2012. And he activated Shopee.
Okay.
Shopee was set up to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy.
Okay.
Because the purpose is that when you remove it, the corruption, because the main thing about the subsidy thing is actually the corruption.
Not the subsidy.
Not the subsidy. What government ought to fight is the corruption in the subsidy thing, where people will come claim what they didn't sell to the Nigerian people. Or they say they imported a certain number and then meanwhile it's a lie. That's what government needed to tackle, not to punish the Nigerian people because of the enjoyment of those up there. So the removal, yes, all of the then candidates in 2023, including my principal, Mr. Peter, will be the candidate of my party. Yes, they were going to remove subsidy. But did they say they were going to remove it at the Eagle Square at the inauguration? No. At least you get on board as president. The president, you get the facts. And then you now say, okay, going by now, from now to so period, by what we have seen, we can now remove it. But not for you to just announce it without any plan. And then, okay, he has announced it. What is the plan? The cushioning, what has the government of the day put in place to cushion the effect of that removal of subsidy? All the money, so-called, that they have saved from the removal of subsidy, have they stopped borrowing? Tinubu's government has borrowed more than all the governments put together since 1999. And the same government is the one that has removed subsidy.
But the government said that the borrowing is to help put up infrastructure and also...
Well, here, I agree.
Some of the necessities. It's not like they are just borrowing to blow it.
I don't live in the moon. Neither do you live in the moon. We live in Nigeria. Okay, you have removed it. Where are those infrastructure? The guy is building some called phantom project called... what's it called? Coastal Highway.
Coastal highways. Okay.
Do we need that? When the roads are in a terrible state, go across the nation and see how terrible our roads are. That money, 15 trillion naira without appropriation, no. He didn't take the budget to National Assembly. 15 trillion naira was, appropriated for that, budgeted for that so-called, and that project will not go beyond Lagos. That project, even if they give Tinubu 30 years, he cannot get up to Calabar that he's claiming that he wants to take that so-called phantom project to. So it's just unfortunate that we even attempt to make excuses for a government that has failed woefully. Government is telling the Nigerian people, tighten your belt. Oh, that because we have to adjust certain things. Taxation is so high now. You have removed subsidy. Government is living large. You had to buy a new fleet for the president. Do we need that? Had to buy a yacht. Do we need that? Had to, know which thing can you say from the removal of subsidy, the billions and trillions that has been saved, this is where government has put the money into. Rather, government says to us that, that the governors now have more money to pay salary and all of that. That's it. So they extort the people, they extract from the poor and empower the rich. So should the P2B government come to power, that's where what are we going to do differently? P2B first will lead by example, because by his antecedents, that he won't tell you tighten your belt and be living large. P2B will not sit back and watch while any Nigerian is kidnapped, and you sit back in the villa without giving report hourly, daily, about how they have or they are going to get these people back. Peter Obi will not sit back and watch the nation go adrift as the case is now. Peter Obi will lead clearly from the front. This president, like Peter Obi said in the last interview you had, the president seemed to be to be held hostage in the villa. We don't know. We don't hear from our president. When some elders look at what he did to the bishops, the Catholic bishops the other day, they came to you to report to you the true picture of happenings in Nigeria. And what did the president tell us? First, they told you that INEC doesn't seem to be impartial. The president now became the spokesperson of INEC and said that no, INEC is very fair in its approach. The president was told there is hardship in the land. He said, no, the economy is booming. And then the man, Cardinal Onyeko, went to television to explain how the president's reaction was when they came to him. And the attack dogs of the president came against a man who is a potential pope. Now, the Muslim ticket, which is an aberration. This is not a Muslim state. Nigeria is not a Muslim country. This is a secular state. You tried it the first time, okay, you got away with it. Because you don't give a hoot about the feelings of the Nigerian people, you are repeating it. So these people don't care. That's why I said to you, APC has no plan for the Nigerian nation. And that is why, whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a pagan, we go to the same market, the same filling station. That's why nobody has a special card from the APC as a member or as a supporter that you will use to go to the market and get a cup of gari cheaper. All of us buy the same price. So don't be deceived if you're a Muslim that, oh, this is your government because it's Muslim. Are you buying it cheaper? No. What we need are a group of people who are capable, who have empathy for the Nigerian people. This government does not have any sense of empathy. The commander-in-chief ought to be the monarch-in-chief, so that when one Nigerian is slaughtered anywhere, it is the duty of the president and commander-in-chief to show empathy. But we don't see that. But all of these things are cogent reasons why Tinubu should not be given another day after May 29th, 2027 in Villa.
Well, some people are of the opinion that Peter Obi does not have a path to the presidency.
How?
They don't see him garnering enough support from all across the country, especially in the north, to be able to win the election. And then some other watchers are saying that the opposition is divided. If only the opposition were to coalesce and produce one singular candidate to confront the ruling party, it would be different. In fact, an analysis I read yesterday said it's going to be 2023 all over. And one analyst who, I must admit, is tilting towards the ruling party has said the concerns that drove people away from Tinubu the last time have gone away, especially the Muslim ticket. It's been proven that Christians are not jeopardized in any way, and so it's not there. Looking fairly and squarely at this, do you in all honesty think that indeed there's a path to the presidency for any other person except President Bola Tinubu? And then you can factor in the fact also that some people are saying that it looks like Obi is so desperate, he's promising an unrealistic one term as president, because it is in the common logic, the South should have been concluding their 2 terms by 2031, and is going back to the North. And some people are saying Obi is so desperate is agreeing to this, when ordinarily he should really be looking for a time when he should run twice. And then people like David Umahi have come out to say Obi's decision to go for a one term is his. He can't speak for the Igbo people. Igbo people want when it's their turn, and they'll have their deserved 2 terms as president. Make sense of all this for me.
First, let me begin with the view that Obi does not have a pathway to the villa. They said to us in 2023, when we started, 2022-2023, that there was just 4 people tweeting in a room or Facebooking in a room. And then Obi got 12 states. All of them, the major... Tinubu got 12 states. Atiku got 12 states. Obi got 12 states. Obi, in fact, won the 2023 election.
Even though the results don't reflect that.
It's okay. But fact is that at least they didn't see him even getting up to 1 million votes. He got 6.1 million votes as allotted. As allotted by INEC. That's one. And now, you think those 6.1 million votes are just sitting and watching? They are not motivated.
The permutation is that he's lost some of them.
No, while some left, more came. We have Kwankwaso now as the vice presidential candidate. That is, of course, he got 1.something million votes in the 2023 election. So we're bringing that along. And you think the North are not going to vote Obi? You're joking. In fact, if there is any part of the nation that is feeling the hardship of the APC government, of the Tinubu government, is northern Nigeria. Since APC came to power, the North became the capital of poverty in the world. And then since Tinubu came to power, the hardship escalated. People can't go to the farm anymore. I was born in Kano. I grew up in Zazzau, so I know northern Nigeria. The North today is a shadow of itself. So, by every means possible, that narrative of, this Igbo man, if we give them a chance, that they may divide Nigeria, that has been, completely abolished. Because we now understand clearly that if there are a group of people that have shown commitment to Project Nigeria, it is Southeastern, the Igbos. Go to any part in Nigeria. After the indigenes of that place, the next citizens of Nigeria that you will see adding value there are the Southeasterners, the Igbo men and women, the Igbo people. So the truth of the matter, Project Nigeria, no tribe has shown commitment to Project Nigeria more than the Igbo man. Blood, sweat, and money. None has invested more than the Igbo. So that nonsense talk about the Igbo man is going to divide Nigeria is rubbish. Because the Project Nigeria is, we have invested more. I'm an Igbo man. The other person, Dave Omahe, who says, that Obi's pursuit for one term and all of that he's on his own. Well, what will you expect him to say? Any dog that has a bone in his mouth cannot bark and cannot bite either. He's observing table manners. So I don't have to. He says he's looking for Peter Obi to come and debate with. Let him become a presidential candidate like Peter Obi told him. Then he can debate Peter Obi. At the moment, he should continue with this, boy job that he's doing for Tinubu. But for us, whether Peter Obi is going to do the one term and keep to it, yes, he's going to keep to it. I'm an Igbo man. What we want to do first, if that is what we're going to achieve, is end this distrust. Because once he gets in there and he does the one term and hands over, then this distrust will end. That lie of the Igbo man will divide Nigeria will end. We will break the jinx.
That an Igbo man can never be president of Nigeria.
That jinx would have been broken. Okay. And then we'll now realize that, just like there's a camera facing me as I'm talking to you, it's on a tripod. If this tripod were not, the 3 legs are not balanced, you can't get a good shot. Nigeria is not balanced because Nigeria, ab initio, was set up Wazobia. That's how it started. That doesn't mean ignoring the other tribes in Nigeria. But just like we have 6 geopolitical zones, the first moment of the setting up Nigeria was established within the Wazobia tripod. But at the moment, that 3rd leg is not there. That's why Nigeria is not balanced.
All right.
Until the Southeastern gets in there, then Nigeria would have had that, understanding that our nationhood would have been activated. At the moment, Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is just a group of nations doing nationhood business without a memorandum of understanding. That memorandum of understanding is what we need to activate now by allowing this competent. It's not because Peter Obi is an Igbo man that I'm supporting him. No, if Peter Obi were, there are a group of Igbo men that if they were the ones on the ballot, like Peter Obi is, I don't have to mention their names. We wouldn't have been supporting them. We don't support. For instance, when in 2019, after Buhari's first abysmal failure, the first term, we didn't go for just any other person. We still went to the north to look for a Fulani man, Atiku Abubakar, to support, because we saw him as better than this other Fulani man. Let me land. Okay. On the aspect of the opposition divide.
Yes, I was going to say you come to
whenever that. We say that, I just wonder, do we realize that as long as you're part of this system, whether you're a member of a political party or not, you're in the opposition. If the hardship in the land, you're facing it, you're a member of the opposition. And the best we can do now, especially now that the APC, the governors, who Tinubu has given all the proceeds from the removal of subsidy and all of that, have united with him in his party. So it is us, the people, against this ruling class, these oppressors. It is the Nigerian people that should unite. Don't look for a political party or group of political parties to unite as opposition. We, the hungry people, because hunger has united the Nigerian people. We are the opposition. The Nigerian people will be united against this Tinubu government. However, the political class in the opposition, the challenge today is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as far as I'm concerned. And I say it with due respect to his person. It's unfortunate that he is about to again miss an opportunity to be a father of the nation, the father of the new nation that we're all looking for. Atiku should realize that the southern, that proposal, it was Alex Ekwueme at the Abacha conference in 1995 that proposed the rotational presidency thing. And what he proposed was the rotation around the 6 geopolitical zones. But of course, Abacha died. Abacha bought into it, but he died before the activation of the 1999 document.
It didn't become a written law.
Yes. If Abacha was alive, or if he was still alive that period, that would have been captured in the constitution of our country. But he wasn't. But the PDP, where Alex Ekwueme and others founded, had it enshrined in their constitution. And Atiku is who scuttled it. Remember 2015, they ganged up against Jonathan for not keeping to that zoning thing. They all went away and aligned with Tinubu and the rest of them to form what they now, call APC, right? And then after it, he came back in 2017 back to the PDP and contested for the ticket in 2018. And of course, the party, the PDP, zoned its ticket to northern Nigeria. No southerner, 12 of them aspired for that ticket in 2018 against the 2019 election. No one southerner purchased expression of interest form. That is the PDP. And then he didn't win. 2023, Atiku came again. In fact, if not for Atiku's inordinate ambition in 2023, Tinubu wouldn't have come to power. If PDP had zoned its ticket to southern Nigeria, there was no reason whatsoever for APC to be rewarded after that failure of Buhari's 8 years. Now that we are here, southern Nigeria still has 4 years to go. Whether we accept it or not, we must have some sense of mutual respect for each other in this country. If Atiku were to be a statesman, he will step aside and support Peter Obi and Kwankwaso.
But in one sentence, if Peter Obi decides to step aside for Atiku,
no, it's not possible.
Is it something you would support?
No, it's not possible. It's not possible because southern Nigeria still has 4 years to go, and Peter Obi has already accepted that he's going to do one term, and he didn't just end in his promise. In case, they will say that was what Jonathan told us, that he was going to do one term, and reneged on it. Peter Obi is not just going to, we're not just going to go by his promise. The party, the NDC, the Nigeria Democratic Congress, has already enshrined it in its constitution that southern Nigeria has one term to go. So in 2031, power will return back to northern Nigeria.
All right. Unfortunately, we didn't start as early as we should, and time has overtaken us. But Mazi Iroegbu, you still owe us.
I will be available.
More time.
I commit to it
to be able to talk some more. In fact, we just warmed up. There's still a whole lot that
I will be
still
available.
needs to.
We need to sensitize our people. We need to make Nigerians realize that we have a chance here to take back our country.
All right. Thank you so much, Mazi Nnamdi Dickson Iroegbu, chieftain of the NDC and a Nigerian political and social commentator. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
on State of the Nation. Hope to have you back very soon.
Thank you.
And thanks to everyone who's been a part of the show, whether you watched or you listened. Make sure you keep following us. Go to our websites, www.peoplesfmabuja.ng, and of course, Universal Television, UTV Africa, on www.utvafrica.com. We'll come your way again next week. Till then, keep it locked on the People's 105.5 FM Abuja and UTV Africa. My name is Maddox. Enjoy the rest of your day.